Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. Hope so you have a nice lunch and some relaxing time and stretching time on your homes. And I really miss the lunch that we should have together and the discussions, our discussions during lunch. But what to do? At least we had one hour to rest. And now we are going to have some more presentation regarding clinical trials. And this session is going to be coordinated by me. And we will have with us a video because Mrs. Maria Duterte, the president of UPATI, couldn't be with us today. So we have a record presentation from her. And then we will have a round table and small presentations from me and Miss Maribella. And also we have with us Miss Alice Groschin. So let's go to see the video from Miss Maria Duterte about UPATI, and then we continue with the other presentation. Thank you.
Dear participants, my name is Maria Duterte and I coordinate the European Patients Academy UPATI. I'm honored to be speaking to you today at the Agora Annual General Meeting and International Conference. UPATI is a patient-led multi-stakeholder partnership providing patients with information and training on medicines research and development. The driving force of UPATI is the idea that involving patients in medicines research and development has important benefits. By bringing in their priorities and perspectives, patients can contribute to developing better treatments for themselves and others. To enable this, it is essential that patients have thorough knowledge of the processes and methods by which medicines are developed and brought to the market to understand where and how they can make a meaningful impact. We have seen that providing training about these processes empowers patients to work effectively with the relevant stakeholders and therefore contributes to meaningful patient engagement. The UPATI Patient Expert Training Program was developed 4 years ago, and as of today, over 200 persons across Europe have graduated from this program. The impact of the UPATI Patient Expert Training Program has been significant. Our expert patients, so-called UPATI Fellows, have taken leading roles in patient involvement in medicines R&D. For example, UPATI Fellows have engaged in advisory roles, acted as trainers and speakers at conferences, been involved in health policy advocacy, started community advisory boards, assisted and advised their own and other patient organizations. While UPATI is not directly involved in clinical trials, our fellows are actively working with researchers and the industry on improving, for example, informed consent documents, reviewing trial protocols, and contributing to trial designs. They are also engaged in collaboration with regulators and HTA bodies. And we are constantly developing new materials and new training modules to further enhance the knowledge of patients. In a summary, UPATI is committed to increasing patient engagement in medicines R&D through education and training. I'd like to invite you all to consult our trainings at our website, upati.eu, and contact us for more information. Thank you, and I wish you a very fruitful and interesting conference.
Thank you to Ms. Duterte that she explained us what is the clinical trial, what is the UPATI association. So now we are going on my presentation. I'm going to talk about UPADI national platforms. I am a UPADI fellow. I have just finished the UPADI course, and I have a small experience on how it's the development of actual clinical trial, and also I am a member of the UPADI national platform in Cyprus. So give me 1 minute to share my screen. So as I said, in Cyprus, we have the UPADI national platform, and I am a member of the board of the platform. So as Ms. Tutarte said, the European Patients Academy on Therapeutic Innovation, UPADI, is a multi-stakeholder public-private partnership originally launched by the IMI UPADI project during 2012 and 2017, and hosted by the European Patients Forum, EPF, from 2017 to 2020. UPADI is today established as an independent non-profit foundation in the Netherlands. It is a successful program that provides education and training to increase the capacity and capability of patient and patient representatives to understand and meaningfully contribute to medicines research and development, R&D, and to improve the availability of medical information for patients and other stakeholders. The vision of UPADI is to enhance education and empower the patient to undertake a more active role in all stages of the R&D process and in advocacy, to encourage the dialogue between all different stakeholders, patients, industry, regulators, policymakers, and foster successful partnership for optimum patient-centered care. As patients are experts in their disease, this is the mission of UPADI Cyprus. They should be involved in the decision-making process that affect healthcare in Cyprus. The mission of UPADI Cyprus is to educate, empower, and enable the patient to be involved in healthcare policymaking and in the decision-making process which affects the patient's lives. The first steps that we have to make for the UPADI to become a reality in Cyprus, we had to make a meeting. So in July 2019, we make a first meeting with 3 patient representatives that were UPADI fellows. 2 were UPADI fellows plus me that at that time I was taking my course, 1 academic, and 1 representative of industry. On that meeting, we define our objectives, and we make a decision that we have to make a statute of the national platform in Cyprus, and we had to sign it. We agreed that we had to ask the support of OSAC, the Federation of Patient Organizations, to support us as a new platform and to support and to empower us and to give us the ability to inform the patient organizations in Cyprus. So in December 2020, we established as a legal entity. And after that, we had to inform our potential members, organizations, academic institutions, the industry, who we are, what we represent, and what is our vision. And in June of 2021, we managed, with the help from the Federation of Patient Organization, we have to have our virtual launching in June 2021. And we have a lot of participants, and the participants were from patient community. We have academics, industry, and clinician also. And after that launching, we start getting applications from other organizations in order to be members of UPADI, and now we have 15 members. So in the pipeline, we have we must do a business plus, and this is under development. We have asked for a meeting with the synod of the deans. This is very important for us in order to have the academic help in UPADI. We applied for a grant to the Ministry of Health because we need a grant in order to make the tool case, because UPADI has a tool case that can help our member organizations to educate more patients, to be active and to be able to negotiate on advocacy about whatever they want to advocate on the health industry. So, and we are asking from the ministry to fund us. And we make a collaboration between a project, a Accelerate project that started in Cyprus with a European commissioner and some academics from around Europe, which is focusing on vaccines due to COVID-19. And we, together with the UPADI, our platform, together with UPADI, we make a collaboration on this project, and we are very proud that we are taking action to this project. So this is a photo from our launching in Cyprus, the launching. So it was very successful, as I said. We have around 40 participants. And thank you, and that's all from Cyprus. So I will stop sharing. So as I said, this is a UPADI national platform. And now we will hear Mary Vella, who is a UPADI fellow, not only president of ARAM, but it's also a UPADI fellow, to hear from her regarding her experience with UPADI and with clinical trials. We are all here and we can listen to you, Mary.
Thank you, Andre. Yes, I can introduce myself. I am Mary Vella, as Andre said. I'm the president of Arthritis of Association, but also a UPADI fellow and the UPADI expert, a patient expert. It all started in the year 2015. But before we discuss a bit what is UPADI, because there is a lot of misunderstandings that they think that UPADI is a patient organization, but it isn't. It is an innovative medicine initiative that started a project of 5 years, a strong multi-stakeholders consortium of patients, organization, academia, NGO, and industry. And under it, there were 33 organizations. Next slide, please. The key objectives was, because already Andre had mentioned, and even, what's her name? Alice, not Alice, the other one, the first one, in Maria Durte, she also mentioned the objectives: to develop and disseminate objective, credible, correct, and up-to-date public knowledge about medicines, research, and development. And this was the aim of UPADI, to train patients. Next slide, please. So what was the objective, and why was UPADI needed? It was innovation to transform the lives of patients with serious lifelong conditions, and it opened the window for patients for clinical designs, relationship between researchers, regulators, industries, and patients. Next slide, please. So my journey started with the patient expert training course. So why did I take this course? I was always very interested in medicine research. So I was one of the second cohort. It was 150 and 172 to 175 hours of e-learning and 8 days for 2 face-to-face meetings over a period of 14 months. Next slide, please. I am going to speak a bit Upati in Malta. Upati was launched in Malta in 2014, and I became a Upati expert after my graduation in December 2016. I became part of the National Upati platform, representing the patient. There was already the academic and the pharma, and there was another one who was not a patient, but she was representing the patient. So I was the second to, maybe we used to shift. When she couldn't go, I could go. So we were 2 representatives of each. We have 2 representatives of patient, for academia, and for pharma. This allowed me to deliver presentation to different patient groups, professional organizations, lectures to university, students to raise awareness about Upati, and that people can access the module for more information. Next slide, please. With the medical profession, we encourage them to promote the Upati site, since it is a reliable and an easy site to follow for information on medicines, since people like to surf the internet for medical information. And as we all know, that the internet doesn't always give a scientifically proven meaning. The toolbox, which was the cool toolbox, it was fact sheets, detailed papers, presentation, power presentation, videos, illustration, and glossary. It was translated into 7 languages, I think. We also translated this Upati 2 in Maltese. 12. Yes. Next slide, please. Role of Upati Fellow. What is the role? What is the Upati initiative? The rollout Upati initiative on a national level, as the rollout of Upati initiative on a national level is to explain the toolbox, encourage more patients and involvement in research and development, and patient assistance in text for lay people. A Upati fellow converses fluently with patients, physicians, and health authorities. Encourage more patients to follow Upati fellowship, since the more Upati fellows there are, the stronger the patient votes. That means when you become a Upati fellow, you will be registered in a register, and you start receiving lay summaries. So you start living to translate them and to review them to be in lay language, so that the patient will understand them. Next slide, please.
Not another slide.
No, okay, that's the end. Yes, and it doesn't matter. I was invited also at the EMA, European Medicine Authority. I was invited 4 times, and there you will sit on a board and you will review the medicines. They give you the literature before. It's always very confidential, but I also was invited in with other private companies to do like trials and if they are right, working on a new medicine, that we could give our experience on the, if we are they are doing medicine for rheumatoid arthritis, and we give our experience on that disease. Otherwise, we are encouraged to encourage more patients to take the course and to be involved, especially on the national level, especially, and in Malta, up to now, we are not invited on decision making and on the board. But hopefully, although we had signed a memorandum with the university or at the medicine authority, but we still are not involved. But hopefully, in last month, we had a face-to-face meeting, and we were invited, and hopefully we will have negotiation so that we will be involved. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mary. We are going to listen Alice also, and then we will discuss all together.
Yes, okay, thank you.
Okay, so the next one is Alice Grosjean, if I am telling correct your surname. Alice is the president of Sjögren Europe, and Sjögren Europe is a federation of organizations for the disease, for Sjögren disease. So we are going to listen here about what is therapeutic patient education. Thank you, Alice. We can listen you now.
Hello, thank you for the invitation. It's nice to be with you today. Welcome to my presentation about therapeutic patient education. So I'm Alice Grosjean, I'm a patient. I'm the president of Sjögren Europe, and I have a diploma of advanced studies in patient education from the University of Geneva. So what is therapeutic patient education? Therapeutic patient education is also simply called patient education. It's the same. It aims to help and support the patients to better manage their illness. It's the process of influencing patient behavior and producing the changes in knowledge, attitudes, and skills necessary to maintain or improve health and quality of life. In that process, patient is an equal partner, and any intervention is by mutual agreement, of course. It's a humanist approach. Yes. So therapeutic patient education is defined by the World Health Organization, and it refers to scientific discipline in the medical field. It should enable patients to acquire and maintain abilities that allow them to optimally manage their lives with their disease. Patient education is a scientific health approach, a care practice drawing on many currents of thought that underpins a global approach to the situation of a person with a chronic disease, taking into account his or her needs, expectations, possibilities, and environment in their physical, psychological, cultural, and social dimensions. So in summary, it's human sciences applied to medicine. So it's coaching and education to help the patient to change and to adapt and to live with a disease. Education is more than information or teaching. What I do right now, for example, is pure information. It's not education. Education is more dynamic and interactive and will activate the thinking at a deeper level. patient education is practiced by trained health professionals, all kinds of health professionals, and trained patients like I am. In patient education, there are 3 new paradigms. When we are patients, we often lose control over our lives and feel powerless. So patient education is to give power to patients so that they can have an identity consistency. By this, I mean it should be adapted to the patient, personalized, and consistent with him or her, his life, beliefs, priorities, etc., etc. It's also to give sense to health and disease. Having a disease change a lot of things in our lives, we lose sense sometimes with disease. So to give back some sense and to treat then not a patient, but a healthy person with a disease. It's also sharing power among all caregivers. It means to work with interdisciplinarity. Interdisciplinarity is to handle the complexity of chronic disease, because also many abilities that patients have to learn are transversal to many disciplines. So we try not to have an addition of disciplinary projects, but a global project for the patient, to which all caregivers contribute. So as you see, information and teaching are part of patient education, and patient education is part of healthcare. And the aim is self-management, empowerment, coping, and at the end, resilience. EULAR have recommendations for patient education for people with inflammatory arthritis. They recommend that patient education should be an integral part of standard care. And they also recommend that patient education should be the start point and underpin all self-management interventions. So patient education, it's all kinds of pedagogical and coaching methods. And it's also, for example, integrating adaptability and philosophical skills to cope with the disease. As it is a scientific health approach, there is a need for standards. Patient education can be improvised. There is a methodology. As you see, it's a process with key steps. And this process may be repeated as many times as it is needed. So there are specific techniques of interviews. We call them empathetic and active listening, to make the interviews, to understand the patient, what it is for him or for her exactly, how he sees his life with the disease and what he wants, needs. We analyze the interviews with a qualitative analysis. There is a methodology from human sciences, especially psychology and sociology. We establish a problematic and we establish the needs in patient education. We establish the skills to be developed. We make adapted content and methods. We evaluate them. It's very important. And we start over as long as it is needed for the patient. So this is a short summary of what is patient education. So that's all for me. for today. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Really, it's a very informative presentation. Thank you very much, and very interesting for our today topic. Because we all know that people, especially patients that wants to act as on the advocacy, has to be educated. In these days, for having people advocates and really to build stronger organizations, you have to be educated, and this is becoming more and more mandatory in our organizations. And we have to find also the patients and the people that they are interested in this field, because you have to spend time and effort to become educated and to be well known of what's going on in this field. So we have a question. Now we can receive questions. And we will make a small discussion. We have one question to all of us. Is just a minute to see it. How or if association not in your party, how can they see the toolbox? And this is to Mary's presentation. Mary, do you know how somebody that is not your party fellow can see this toolbox?
Yes, it's open to the public. It's open to the public, and they can go on the website of the U-Party, and there they can find the toolbox in their language. We said it's translated in 12 languages, and they can find their language and they can go over it. And if they want, for example, a certain medicine, they want to know about a certain medicine, they type the name of the medicine and they will get to know everything on that medicine. Yeah. The toolbox search, because if instead of the patient surfing the internet and are misled or misguided of the proper scientific meaning of the medicine or whatever of the disease.
Yeah,
it was designed for that reason.
And also I would like to inform people that now the U-Party training is open.
Yes.
And they can, whoever wants to educate and make the training, they can do it on their own time. It's on U-Party's website, and they can go there and find the way and how they can be trained by this program. And we have a second question is, can a local patient association incorporate and have strategic alliance with U-Party? As I know, they have to be only with U-Party national platform, not the U-Party, as U-Party can make association with organizations, make only the training, the U-Party, and then that's why the U-Party national platforms was created, so the organizations and the academy and the industry can make strong platforms for U-Party. So, Mary, how many times did you was part of a development on research? Did you have them the chance to be on any clinical trial
no.
On any development of clinical trial?
A clinical, yes, development, design sort of, but not in a clinical trial. I never participated in a clinical trial, but when I am invited to the EMA, the European Patient Medicine Authority, they will be manufacturing a new medicine for arthritis. and they will send me an email where I am invited to participate. They will send me the literature to study, and then I give my views. My views, when the how we say it, the manufacturer is presenting the layout and the design of the medicine, and I will review how if it's targeting our disease, and if new targets, and I could say what new targets or new things could be involved and introduced in the medicine for the patients to work effectively and safely. The evaluate will be a board.
Yeah, and how much did the training help you?
Yes.
Because we know you that you are an advocate for many years, okay, and you have a lot of experience, but how much more did the training help you to be better and to know, improve your knowledge on medicines, and how is the development of medicines in your role as advocate?
Even though I was a nurse, I am retired now. You have medical knowledge, but on medicines, I didn't have nothing. So this course has helped me to understand how medicine is manufactured. I never knew that medicine takes 12 years to be manufactured, and all the procedures that has to take to be authorized on the market.
And why is taking the 12 years?
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now, because of the COVID, there was this misunderstanding because it only took 1 year. But we know that with the advance of medicine and with technology, procedures can be made faster and more easy to understand.
And everybody focused on that, on COVID. So
yes,
they didn't do anything else. They only focused. Yeah.
But that's why it's very important now that patients should be trained more, so that we could study more in deeply how COVID also affected us as patients, and even the vaccine, how it's going to affect us. So the involvement of the patients is very important. So I will encourage even those who are hearing us to enroll and have the course. There are the patients course and there's the professional. There's the professional is 2 days, 2 days course, intensive course, so that the professional will understand the patient, and the patients will be informed so that they will be educated, as I said. It's very important that the patient, when he's sitting on board, and especially on decision making, they will be well informed and they will know how to speak and to understand what's going on.
And it's that the time that they will, the academic and the governments, they will take us seriously, that we are knowing what we are talking about. Yeah.
For example, when we had the issue of the switching of biosimilars, it helped me a lot, because when you go in front of the Minister of Health, you know how to speak because you understand what's going on. A part of my experience before I had a pharmacy, and you had experience with pharma, so you can explain, and he understands you more. But then, being a patient, you are speaking from the patient's voice. It is much more effective, can do a more impact.
Yeah. Thank you, Mary. Let's go to Alice. Alice, I have a question for you. Yes. Do you have any example of patient education and how it is work in Swiss, so we can better understand the patient education program?
Yes. For example, in Switzerland, we have a lot of patient education for people with diabetes. Many patients with diabetes don't take their treatment or give up on the treatment. So it's to understand why they don't want to have their treatment, why they give up on it. For example, many people with diabetes, after a moment with their treatment, everything is fine, so they don't feel sick anymore. And for some people, don't feeling sick is not being sick, which is not the case, but psychologically speaking, for some patients, it's like this. So it's coaching the patient to make him verbalize these conceptions of health, and to have a dialogue with him or her, so that he realizes that if he gives up on the treatment, he will have new symptoms, complications, etc., etc., and to make the people realize that it's not what they want. So what can we do so that he takes the treatment? So it's a lot about treatment compliance. Exactly. Yeah. And it's also, sometimes there are programs for people with diabetes to teach them how to cook. And actually at home, it's not the person who cooks, but someone else. So it's talking with the patient to know how his life is organized and to adapt the program. So it's maybe to teach how to cook to the spouse. Or,
yeah.
Yes, it's really to take into account as the life of the patient, and not what we think it is, but how it actually is.
I think it's a fantastic program, because we know, Alice, that a huge percentage of chronic patients, they don't make compliance to the treatment, and actually they don't tell it to the doctors. So exactly. The doctors are trying to think what is going wrong, and why is not reactive on the treatment, and then suddenly they come to their mind that maybe the patient is not compliant to the treatment. And this is very, very good, and I think we have to collaborate to make this patient education program to our federation, to our platform, and is very, very important. And I think when we have more educated patients, we will have better medicines and better understanding of our diseases. And the other thing that I would like to add, if Mary, you can add also, is that when we have the patient voice on a clinical development, we have better treatments and we have better medicines. Yes. Because if we have our voice on the development of a clinical trial, we are giving our perception, we are giving our knowledge. For example, we can say that if you develop, as Anna said before, if we develop a gadget for people with rheumatoid arthritis, for example, they have to be considered that many people, they have disability on their fingers, and maybe they cannot use easily their gadget. Or if people are traveling a lot to go, as Anna said before, she spent so many hours to travel to go to the trial, and they have to the development has to be focused also on this, not to be very harmful or very stressed to the patient that they are taking the clinical trials. So this is our perception, and this is the need on the development. And UPADI, I think, has a very interesting and very good job to do on that field. And I think that as Agora, we need to do more on this specific object.
But Andre, during the consultation with the patient before clinical trials, all these are evaluated and done by the patients. And before they go to clinical trials, they will be asked questions about their work, their time, and then the patient will consent, yes or no. That's why they are tailored accordingly. So those are, but education, as Alice has explained very well, is very important for us. So we can, Agora can play a good part in this education.
Yeah, and I had a question about UPADI fellows. What is actually the job? The job is that they are calling, they are announcing, the industry is announcing a clinical research that they are looking for patients educated to be part of the development of the clinical trial. So they are asking specific things and specific areas. And if you are having these specific things they are asking, you can contribute in the development of the clinical trial. And also they are coming and they are discussing with you for many other things. And about the HTA, they are asking me, yes, during the UPADI training, we are be training on the HTA. And countries small like us, like Cyprus, Malta, I think, and even Greece, as I know, we don't have a huge experience and knowledge on HTA. So UPADI can help us to understand and to try to learn about the HTA. Do you have any experience on HTA, Mary or Alice?
Not so much, because it's a very difficult topic. But
yeah,
I wanted to say that UPADI, after you graduate, and even after still today, they do. They invite us with webinars, with educational webinars. They will send you an email and you'll be invited. So they are continuing educating us even after we are graduated. So they keep us updated. And now they formed a group and of networking of UPADI fellows to put forward our challenges. So this is very important. So if we have a challenge on the national level, we can put it forward, and everyone who is in together, we help each other to support each other, and maybe you can suggest what we can do, or what we share.
We have a question to you, Mary, and to me. First, I would like to read the question. It's from Elsa. Hi, Elsa.
Hi,
what sort of activities do you usually organize for members on national level at the UPADI national platforms, and how frequent?
On the national platform, we have meetings as a committee as yet, because now we did, because we don't have human resources as yet. That's why we are encouraging more patients to be involved. And the UPADI, the national platform of Malta, is under the auspice of the Malta Health Network. It's a government, it's an NGO, but it's called, because it's still small, it's an umbrella of other organizations. So we have the patient representative who takes care of all emails, and she disseminates it. So it's not so much burden on me, because I have other things. So with the help together, we do, but we try to do at least. The COVID has limited us a lot, but we do 1 or 2 a year, but we go to do lectures and even for medical students, and we try to give awareness as much as possible whenever we can. But it's the president who will call for a meeting. So as I said, the COVID has limited us very much.
You know, in Cyprus, we have a very demanding president of your party, national platform.
Good.
It's Susie. So everybody knows Susie. So she's very demanding on doing things. So yeah, in Cyprus, we make only one the launching until now, because we are freshly new established your party. And we are planning to organize an education. But first, we want to make the toolbox translation. And that's why we are asking for funds. And our next step, as soon as we'll translate the toolbox, is to make a huge, a big training to the patient organization members that we have, because we have also the patient federation on our site, and they are awesome. Again, there we have Marios Kouloumas, who is the president of the federation, and he knows exactly what we want with UPADI. They are helping us on the federation to become bigger. And I think we are having in front of us huge things. And we will be trying, as we said, to make 3 to 4 meetings with the members per year. So this is our plans for now.
I know that Cyprus was only Susie on it. You didn't have academia and you didn't have the Panama representative. So that's why you launched the new one. So we've been here in Malta has been since 2014. We established it at that time. We started from Italy. We were collaborated with Italy, and then we launched it in Malta. We did a big conference. So, but then when there were 2 graduates of your party. One is no longer active. And at that time, we had made with the medicine authority, we signed a memorandum that they would help us, and hopefully now we will start improving and progressing. Yeah. And now we have Neville, Professor Neville, maybe.
Yeah.
Start rolling the ball.
Yeah. We had the same question as the previous from Kondruta. Thank you, Kondruta. Actually, it's a very big topic, the training of the patients, and we are running out of time in a little. It's very important, the training of the patients, and also we have the in Cyprus we have the launching, as I told you, and during the launching we have many academics that they came on the launching, and they find it very, they were very interested on our job as patients. And we are seeing that more doors of academics are open now to patients, and they getting realized that we are a very good tool for the trials and the development of research. So Alice, do you want to tell us something at the finish?
Yes, I just would like to add that patient involvement in clinical trials and patient education are the 2 sides of the same coin. With patients involved in the clinical trials, you develop better treatments for the patients, and with patient education, you make the compliance to the treatments better. So it's, yes, it's complementary. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alice. Thank you for being today with us. Thank you, Mary. You are both very, very experienced and very helpful. And thank you for your contribution to our conference today. Of course, it's not finished, this topic for Agora, and we will have, we will develop a project on this, and because it's very interested from our members. And okay, thank you for being here. Now we have to make a break, and we will have a break. Just let me look the time. We will have a break for 15 minutes until 2:30, and then after we will have some more lectures and talk. Thank you once again, and see you in around 17 minutes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back from your coffee break. This is the penultimate session. That's the one before the last. And we have two very interesting speakers to share more information with you. I'm sure you all agree this has been a very interesting and exciting conference. By way of introduction, I just want to say that I am Sina Boujeya, the Vice President of ARA Malta. You've been seeing my president all day long today. So let me go into the first presentation without much more discussion. I would like to invite Marios Kouloumas, who is a patient research partner and patient expert. He's the president of the Federation of Patients Associations of Cyprus, strategy advisor of the EULAR PARA Standing Committee, and member of the Committee for Clinical Excellence in Nicosia, Cyprus. Marios was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis at the age of 10. He has been working in the public sector since 1983. And from 1993, he has been working at the Nicosia General Hospital. For the past 21 years, he has been actively involved as a volunteer in the movement of people with RMDs and chronic patients, both at a national and international level. He is currently the president of the Federation of Patients Association of Cyprus, which is an umbrella organization representing the national patient organizations. He is qualified patient research partner and patient expert. He is the leader of the EULAR campaign, Don't Delay, Connect Today task force, and the strategy advisor of the EULAR PARA Standing Committee. He is the former president and currently the honorary president of the Cyprus League Against Rheumatism, and the past EULAR vice president and honorary member of EULAR. He has also been awarded the European Congress of Rheumatology with Meritorious Services Award for his excellent input. Marios, I now ask you to start sharing your screen so we can have your presentation, which is titled Digital Health.
Thank you so much for introduction. I would like also to thank the organizers for the invitation. It's really a great pleasure for me and honor to be with you today. And I will speak about the digital health. My presentation will be about the digital health, and also to present to you the electronic health records, what is happening in Cyprus. So just to refresh the memories, a little bit about the history, that is one of the rooms in one of our hospitals, and these are the medical records of the patients. And this is the history. For many countries, an old history. For other countries, maybe a recent history, but this is the old world. And this is the future. The future is the e-health. And in the e-health, we have not the patients, but we have the citizens in the center, and all the information about their health, not only about their disease, is included in the medical records. So the future that we all looking forward to be there. According to the WHO, the e-health is the use of information and communication technologies for health. Examples included, just I cannot see, include treating patients, conducting research, educating the health workforce, tracking diseases, and monitoring public health. Also, the European Patient Forum, in its campaign, calls all the EU institutions and the member states to foster patient-centered development of e-health and emphasize 3 key pillars: the equity of access, the patient safety, and the quality of care. Also, in the work plan of the e-health network, they said in their plan that it's very important for the society and the citizens to have timely and meaningful information. Also, the digital solutions are very important in order to support self-empowerment of the patients. And also, it is a recommendation to give to the patients the ownership of their own medical history, and this will allow them to better manage their own health. So the patient access to the electronic health records is very important because empowering the citizens in order to have more active role in the management of their health. Of course, one of the challenges that we face, and also we face in Cyprus, the challenge, is the so-called digital health literacy. Because we should give to the patient the ability and the skills to understand and to have access to these records. Just to say that in Cyprus, we have now these digital records, but only less of 50% they already have access because of this problem with the digital health literacy. So it's good because in many countries, either on national level or the regional level, they work to provide patients with access to their electronic health records. And this is very, very good. But also we see that there is lack of awareness on involving patients when increasing digital health literacy. So what is the digital health literacy? It is the ability of the citizens to have access and to understand the electronic health records and informations. So the citizens and the people, they need to have skills in order to understand and to appraise online health informations. And it's very important in order to, of the e-health deployment, to give this opportunity and to educate citizens in digital health literacy. So it is recommended, highly recommended, to encourage and to implement actions and projects that focus on providing citizens with opportunities to acquire the necessary digital health literacy skills to understand the electronic health records. Access to e-health data is also very important for 2 reasons, another 2 reasons. Because it's very important for the people working in different countries. And in these days, there is many people, they move from one country to other in order to work, to have timely access to their health data. But also is recommended and is very important for the implementation of the cross-border healthcare to have this access to electronic health records. So e-health can contribute to shift in healthcare from disease center to a patient center, because you can allow the healthcare professionals to have effectively monitor all the health status of the patients and to facilitate the chronic disease management, support and improve the patient, doctors, and other healthcare providers' communication. The e-health should be designed around the needs of the patient, and this should be accessible and friendly for the patients and for the citizens, improves the adherence to the treatment, and of course, support the patient empowerment, which is very important in order to manage effectively their disease. The electronic health records is a comprehensive medical records with past and present physical and mental state of health. And as we said before, provide important benefits for the patients. It can improve the exchange information between the different healthcare professionals. And we know that in many diseases, we have many healthcare professionals working for one patient. It's the multidisciplinary group that they should have access and exchange information, and to empower the patients and also to support and enhance the shared decision making. So the Cyprus case, I will present to you the establishment in Cyprus, the National E-Health Authority. According to the law, the purpose of this law is to establish a framework for the use of electronic health for the prevention of the disease, to promote the health services, is establishment, of course, of the National E-Health Authority, to implementation of the e-health record system, which is one of our topics today, and of course, to regulate the storage and use of biomedical information, and also for research, but also for telemedicine. So just to highlight that among the board members, there is 5 members in the board of this authority, which is very important in order to implement the e-health in Cyprus. We have different experts, but we have also one representing the patient organizations. So the patients and the organizations, they have their own representative in the board of this important authority. Then the authority's responsibilities is to issue instructions for the health data banks, because you need banks in order to save all this huge amount of data. Inspections and monitoring of the health data banks, and we speak also about safety here of the data, which are very sensitive. Defining the operating standards and specifications, to implement these data in a way that you can read it everywhere in the cross-border healthcare. So all the member states, they have to collaborate in order to have standardized, save these data. To setting specifications for the telemedicines, guidelines for the applications, for the e-health applications. Also, the president of the authority is the national e-health counterpoint, and in every country member, there is one counterpoint that you can contact whatever you have any questions or something about the e-health. The establishment of the registers, which also is very important, and also to monitoring the quality and safety of the services provided by the healthcare providers. So the health data shall include records and informations about the identity of the patient, of the providers, medical information regarding the treatment received by the patients, previous medical history, the diagnosis, medical condition and treatment provided. And of course, other information about the physical or mental health or condition of the patient. And all the citizens of the Republic of Cyprus, they are going to have their own medical records. Another issue in the law, and it's very important also to have this in mind, is that the ownership of the data is to the citizen. So the citizen has fully authorization and it's their own, in his or her own medical records. This is very important because we as a patients, all the data belong to us and to nobody else. And this is also in the law. The e-health services include on electronic provision of health and wellness information to patients, includes the home care and telemedicine, which are very important, of course, for patients, and also for research. So to collect and manage data for research, also important for everybody, of course, and for the prevention of diseases. And the last one that is going to speak a little bit more about is the electronic health records and the e-prescriptions, of course, which is the one that I'm going to present to you next. So in Cyprus, we have implemented in the last 2 years the new healthcare system and also the new national health information system implemented by the Health Insurance Organization in Cyprus. So what is this system? It's consisted of several softwares. Is the claim management system, is the beneficiary management system, is the healthcare provider management system, the funds and budgeting management system, the business support system, and interfaces with other systems. This is a very unique opportunity for Cyprus because it's only one system for all the services, for all the health services in Cyprus, allow the collaboration and the exchange of information between private and public sector, standardize and codify the exchange health data, and this is very important because you have, in a standardized ways, all the data, and then you can exchange that. And of course, promote the e-health across the island. So in the whole Cyprus, in a short time frame. So even this system is also for claims, but it's not only for claims, it's also in order to manage the operation of this system as described in the law. It collects a huge amount of health data in a codified form, as I said before, includes important data from beneficiaries, from the providers, and from all the activities, clinical, medical, and other activities in the system, enables to enforce a simple and complex rules in a real time, and allows, of course, and this also is good for the patients, the creation of the patient history record. Why it works perfectly in Cyprus? It works because all the health providers are connected with this system. And this is one of the good of the system. And of course, inside the system, in the data, you can have everything. The referrals, the claiming activities, and the visits, and everything that is, every services that is provided to the patient. How it works is very easy. You don't need any software, you don't need any hardware, you don't need to buy anything. You only thing that you need is one computer and internet connection. And you can have access in every corner of the world, just you need a computer and internet. It's free by the Health Insurance Organization. And it's one system for all the doctors, for all the health providers, for all the beneficiaries. So all the health providers are connected to this system in the Health Insurance Organization, and all the data are collected at this system. This is the system and the process. You see that everything is inside of this system. And this is the architecture of the system. Of course, it's a little busy slide, a little bit complicated, but it's included everything. So the data banks, we have data banks for the beneficiaries. And as I said before, all the Cyprus population is in this system. All the health providers also in the public and private sector. And in this system includes all the activities, all the clinical, medical, and other activities provided to the patients. The electronic patient history, as you can see, there are informations from all the providers, from family doctors, specialists, pharmacists, labs, imaging hospitals, other health professionals, and the administrations, and includes all these medical informations in the history. And the access to electronic patient history, they have the health providers, but with a different level of access. As you can see, the family doctors, they have full access, the specialists, they have full access, and the administration of the organization, they have full access, but all the others, they have different level of access to the patient history. This is a patient profile, which includes allergies, vaccinations, list of current problems, active medication, major surgical procedures, social history, pregnancy history, blood pressure and blood group, childhood illness, permanent disabilities, and other patient characteristics. So it's a very comprehensive profile. What is the good for the patients? It's very good because as a patient, as a citizen, we can manage our personal data. Also, it's good because all our medical records is there available for us anytime, anywhere. Also, as a beneficiaries and as a citizen, we control the access to our data. So if we want, we can hide all our data to the doctors or to any other care provider. And also, we can have every 6 months a report, if we like, of course, to report us from the health insurance organizations about the claims of the services that they provide, the health professionals provided to us. Conclusions. The National Health Information System is opening up a great opportunities for e-health in Cyprus. It covers all the Cyprus population and foreigners, including important collections of health data, codify and standardize healthcare services, by use by your healthcare professionals contacted with HIO, the Health Insurance Organization, allow the implementation of protocols, and this is also very good, introduce a common IT infrastructures and services for e-health, allow the cooperation and change of information between the private and public sector, documentation, monitoring, and control of the utilization of the healthcare services, analysis of data and calculations of several indices for taking corrective action. And I close with the conclusion of the European Union e-health action plan 2012-2020, which says e-health can benefit citizens, patients, health and care professionals, but also health organizations and public authorities. E-health, when applied effectively, delivers more personalized, citizen-centric healthcare, which is more targeted, effective, and efficient, and helps reduce errors, as well as the length of hospitalization. It facilitates socioeconomic inclusions and equality, quality of life, and patient empowerment through greater transparency, access to services and information, and other use of social media for health. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Marius, for that very interesting presentation. Actually, in your few minutes, you made us realize how we went from having a file with a warning not to be handled by patient era to self-empowerment and control of your own data. And that has happened in our lifetime. We need to be aware of that. So thank you, Marius. Now we need to look at some questions. We already had a question, which I am not seeing at the moment. Let me see. Yes, okay, we have a question. And the question is, what is the solution for the elderly and or people without access to internet?
Yes, this is one problem that we face in Cyprus. And in order to find a solution, we have established in the government an office, and they can help the people who cannot have access or they don't know how to log in the internet in this application. But also because in Cyprus, the healthcare system, they have their own family doctor. So also the health insurance organization, they entitle all the family doctors to support the elderly in this respect.
And there is a follow-up question to that one, please, Marius. And who puts the data inside the e-health and is responsible that the data will not be available to everyone else, and especially hackers? Who is protecting the data?
Okay, who put the data in the system? All the health providers, doctors, pharmacies, the labs, all the health providers, they put the data in the system. And who is in charge for that is the health insurance organization. We have only one, it's a state insurance company, is the health organization who implement the healthcare system in Cyprus, and they are responsible for the safety of our data.
And I have another question, please, Marius. Kindly explain the reason behind the right to hide your information to the doctor.
It's something that we ask for this as a patient, and we demand that, because if you go to the physiotherapist and you don't want your physiotherapist to see that you are also go to psychiatric, or you have a disease that is not relevant to him, and then you are able to hide that. But also for other reasons, maybe not so important. I heard from patients that if they change a pharmacist, because you can go in every pharmacy in a private sector to take your drugs, but if you go one day in one pharmacy and the next day to other pharmacies, and you don't want to see that they see that you change pharmacies, and you can hide that. So for good reasons and for simple reasons. But it's the right of the patient, and this is the right. We don't speak why, but it's the right for me to hide information that I don't want any other to see that.
Thank you, Marius. I have a statement here saying Kostis Antonopoulos would like to answer this question live. Can I ask the speaker to come forward, please? Did I get that correct? Or I think Marius has already answered, so.
No, it's not. It's the signal. It's not correct.
It's the system?
It's the system, yes.
Okay.
Because
okay.
they took an answer. Okay.
Okay. Thank you. So I apologize. So we have been answered very clearly by Marius. Any other questions? Anybody else wants to put forward a question? Okay, there doesn't seem to be any others. So again, I thank you, Marius, for your very interesting presentation.
Thank you. Great pleasure.
And now I move on to the next speaker.
Sorry to interrupt, but there is a raise from Andri.
Oh, sorry,
Andri?
I didn't see that.
Yes.
So apologies.
Andri, you lower your head.
Yeah. No, I just wanted to thank Marius for his great speech. But I would like to ask him one last question. Do you have any lack of knowledge or lack of interest of the clinicians to put in the system all the information about the patient? So are the clinicians willing to put the information, or do they resist that they don't have time to do it and they cannot do it? And do you have any kind of these problems?
Yes, indeed. And every new reform that we have, of course, there is also the resistance. And yes, it's very valid. There is a huge, maybe more than 50% of the clinicians, they didn't fill up all the information about the patient. It's something that we discussed with the health insurance organization in Cyprus. And what we come up with the conclusion is that we can link the information that they should complete in the data with the claims and the reimbursement of the doctors. It's something, yes, that the doctors, they say they don't have time and they are reluctant to fill up all the data that we need to have, or this, as I said before. So it's something that we discuss, and probably we find a way to make them to do that, because it's very important to have a comprehensive profile with all the information there for the patient.
I would like also to add, Marios, because I know I am from Cyprus, and I would like to add that during the vaccination procedure for COVID-19 vaccines, we focus a really problem that we find out that less than 25% of the people that using the national health system, they didn't have registered on the platform of the e-health system. And they focused this problem when they wanted to put their appointment for the vaccination, because the national insurance system asked us to make the appointment through the system.
Yes, also
Isn't
very right. Now the percentage is up to 40, so it's better now. But it's something that to do with the e-health literacy, that the people, they don't know how to do that, or they are not, they don't have the skills, or they are afraid, or they don't know how to do that. So it's something that as organizations we have to educate and facilitate this process to educate them and to increase and their skills. Yes.
There is another question, if I may put it in, please, Marios. Has your organization, oops, I just lost it now. Has your organization already run literacy e-health courses, or are these courses to be organized on a national level by the authorities?
No. It's something that we as a patient organizations, we know that. It's something that we discuss with the health insurance organizations in order to give to us the funds in order to do that on behalf of them, because we know better how to do that. And now we collaborate also with the EU party Cyprus in order to conduct these education courses, but also campaign for the e-health literacy. We ask funds from the government and from the health organization in order to do that.
So we are coming to the end of our conference, the 10th Agora conference. I would like to have in the floor Mary, Maribella and Anna Veira. Do we have them?
I'm here.
I'm here as well.
Hi. So we are coming to our end. Today we had a great conference. I have this feeling that all of our speakers were fantastic, with a lot of information. and they are all empowered us and motivating us to do more things for Agora and for Southern Europe, for our members. And of course, I would like to listen Mary. But before we go into our last words, I just wanted to tell you that during our registration, we had a questionnaire to our participants, and I would like to share some data with you. As we had data with Marco, now we are continuing with data from our members. We ask them about clinical trials and about their knowledge on clinical trials and about their needs. We have 29 participants, and we ask them if they are familiar with the clinical trial process and the development. And we have 23 answer that they were familiar or they have some knowledge. We ask them if they need more information, and out of 29, the answer was yes. So they think that they need more information on clinical trials. We ask them if they have access as an organization on any research and development on clinical trials or even on just clinical trials. And we have 11 answers with no, 8 answers with yes, and 10 answers with maybe. I assume that they didn't know if their organization has this access. We ask them if they have an opportunity to take part, to participate, to involve on any development of clinical trials, and we have 100% yes. So our members want to be part of the clinical trials research and development. And these all were our questions. And we wanted to say that we are here, Agora is here to do more things on clinical trials. And after our today conference, we will make more. That's all. Now I would like to give the floor to Anna, because we know all of us that our next conference is gonna be in Portugal. Yeah. I hope so that we will be in Portugal in 2022. And I would like to give to Anna the space to talk. But before, I just wanted to inform you that if the things are going good with pandemic, the 2023, we decided as a board, of course, we will see it again with next meetings, that we should go back to Podgorica, to Montenegro, because we didn't have the luck to go last year, and we wanted to give the chance to Montenegro to make the conference. So on 2023, we are going there. So Anna, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Henry. I'm trying to share my screen now. Can you please just confirm that you are seeing my slides?
Yes, we are seeing them.
Okay, so I'm back here today to talk to you on behalf of my national organization, the Portuguese League Against Rheumatic Diseases, which will be hosting the 2022 Agora conference, hopefully face-to-face after this tremendous outbreak of the pandemic. So I'm going to make a short presentation of my national organization. I guess most of you know it, but anyway, it was born from the need felt by doctors in Portugal at the Portuguese Institute of Rheumatology back in 1969. and from what was recommended in the bylaws of the Portuguese Society of Rheumatology, which was itself created in 1972. So the Portuguese League Against Rheumatic Diseases was constituted on 14th of April of 1982. I guess my president does not need great presentations to you. We have a very charismatic president since 2015, Elsa Mateus, saying she has a PhD in health anthropology, that she's an OPETI fellow and a EULAR patient research partner, also chair of the EULAR Standing Committee of PARI, and a GIA patient diagnosed back in 1972. It's a very short CV, but if I had to tell you all about her, I would spend the whole conference speaking about Elsa. Just like your own organizations of the other Agora members, since the creation of our national patient organization, we have been focusing on patients with RMDs, and we've been developing strategies with the aim of disseminating information to the general public about rheumatic diseases. We wanted to assist all those suffering with these diseases, contributing to their integration in society. We try to advise patients and their families and to contribute to the creation and maintenance of specialized centers of diagnosis, treatment, care and recovery for the rheumatic patients. We carry out prevention campaigns, develop training actions, encourage and collaborate with scientific research. We try to defend as much as possible the social and political interests of the patients, and to maintain contacts and collaborate with all national and international associations and other similar organizations. So since 1998, we have held the Rheumatic Patient Support Forum on an early basis. So it takes place every year. It's been a face-to-face events until the COVID outbreak. So the last 2 years we've done it online. We invite experts to address topics of interest for people living with rheumatic diseases. And this year we will probably hold this on a hybrid solution, virtual and face-to-face, at the same time of the Portuguese Society Congress in October. We have a quarterly newsletter created in 2001 with patient-oriented content. In addition to the paper version, it is available also on our website, and patients can get it also via email or on our social media channels. We have a website, and we run 4 social media channels. Our YouTube channel provides various videos and reports of interest to people with rheumatic diseases. And for instance, our Facebook page has about 14,300 followers. Some of our patient groups also have their own Facebook pages and discussion groups. Our associative dynamic involves the management of 5 disease-specific patient groups. Over here, you will see it better in the next slides, and also volunteer activities and activities for members. So here you can see some pictures of the patient group of osteoarthritis and some of the activities developed specifically for this disease-specific group. Then you have the pain patient group, with several pictures of different activities addressing chronic pain. We have also Sjogren's syndrome patient groups. We have developed, along with the Portuguese League, a leaflet of support for patients with this condition, and we've been participating in national as well as in international conferences and symposiums dedicated to this specific disease. Then we have systemic sclerosis patient group, also very active with Zumba parties, spinning and conferences as well. And the most recent patient group is the Bassett disease patient group, which was established back in December of 2018. So they are just starting. Then we have our volunteers, which represent the association in different dissemination and outreach actions. And we have our members, and we organize cultural outgoing, social gathering and workshops for them as long as it has been possible. Of course, COVID stopped us for 2 years, but hopefully the coming year things will get better and we will get back to face-to-face meetings. We also have honorary members, and among them are Portuguese associations, national associations of fibromyalgia, for instance, lupus, GIA, and RA. On the international background, we are members of EULAR, FESCA, Agora, Sugar Europe Federation, Eurordis, and EUPATI. And of course, we are involved in several international and national projects, but it's a long list, so I won't keep you busy with that. And now I want to share with you, I hope this works.
How many times have you left early, cancelled a meeting or otherwise changed your plan?
How many times do you find yourself staying when you say you're going?
How many times have you thought about starting over, but said to yourself, well, perhaps I'm a stayer, not a goer?
How many times did you look at yourself from another perspective and grasp, when all was said and done, you were simply in the wrong place?
This is the moment to seek out new views and angles.
We're the same size as what we see and not what we have.
We may not all speak the same language, but we do all speak with the same tongue.
The good news is they are still here. These landscapes do persist in the three-dimensional world that we exist, and they do hold the capacity to transform us. So come, take a look, but look to see, and not to show, and save it right here and here. Put the phone away and go.
Don't feel like you're past your best. Just remember that no matter how many years we are granted, and however wise, however much dust has settled in our eyes, we still don't know just what wave might be next. 2-meter roller or a 30-meter breaker?
Escaping is pointless.
So voyage out, let the wind blow through your sails, explore, dream and discover. Believe that that sky is going to seem that bit bluer.
It's not the time to take your bow. The past is behind, the future ahead. What we have is this great moment now.
Keep this in your head. It's the truth. And this is the proof. And it's with us each and every day. We just have to read the signs.
The train only passes once. We can't skip new ideas.
We can't skip new beginnings.
Because after all, we can't skip life.
Thank you so much, Anna, for your presentation. And I am looking forward to be in Portugal with you and with the rest of the people of Agora. And because I really miss these face-to-face meetings and the hugs and the kisses and the networking and during our breaks and our lunch and dinners and the dance, especially the dance, that now they don't allow us to dance and they want us only to sit on the chair. And I wish we will have our next meeting in Portugal face-to-face, and having all these nice things we used to do. Thank you, Mary, for your hosting this conference in Malta. It should be an excellent face-to-face meeting, but unfortunately we have this, but it was also great. And you are fantastic with your teams. And thank you for having this wonderful conference. Of course, we should do something with Malta also. We will see what we will do in order to get with you in Malta. And do you want to say something, Mary?
Yes, I want to congratulate Agora for this excellent conference. It came much food for thoughts. And I want to thank all speakers, all organizers who worked, and especially the speakers who brought this excellent conference and brought so much knowledge to us that we could work in the future. I thank Katie for all the work she has done, and you, Andre, with all your committee. The speakers, Anna, I can start from the very top. I thank His Excellency, the President, with a very welcome speech. Just a minute. I thank Professor Kubalis, his interesting presentation on interesting point on food and drug interaction. Ms. Papa, a very human approach that reflects the reality of patients. Professor Kaleya, importance of making the governance framework around clinical trials known to help patients feel more reassured. Anna Vera, importance of informing the public and patients about clinical trials and advantages. I thank Maria Durante and our working group, me and Andre, for the presentation on new party. I also thank Marios for the detailed presentation that he gave us on e-health, digital health. Professor Marco Corrido Canberra, who gave us the research work, and we promised him to keep it confidentially. So it's very important for us all to keep it confidentially and not spread it on the internet for now, and then we'll tell you. And I close and hope to meet in Portugal face to face and hug and dance as everybody wish. And I say thank you, everybody. I hope you have a very, very, very pleasant evening and rest. It has been a long day. Thank you so much, everybody.
It's just we, after our conference is coming to an end, we are focusing on the next one, and we also are seeing that we have a lot of work to do with all these things that we had today. We have great opportunities to work harder and do greater things for Agora and for our members. We have a lot of thanks and from the people that they are participating on the chat, and it's one, Hannah Gruber is telling to Anna that if she will invite Cristiano Ronaldo on our conference. If yes, she will be in Portugal. So
we will see if we can manage that.
Yeah, because you know he's a football player. Maybe later on he has osteoarthritis. So, so thank you everybody, and thank you to Kadi and to her team for today work. Because without them, we wouldn't have this very good conference. And see you and have a great night and great evening. Relax and enjoy. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Miss you all.
Miss you all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Before closing, that to stress that we have about 30 people participating in the conference, the two different channels, through this channel and through the official channel, or the official website channel of the conference. So I think it is very important, and thank you all for your cooperation.
Thank you, Kathy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andre. Thank everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.